Hey guys, how's it going? A real quick discussion about gender identification. Did you guys know that biological sex identification is very different than gender identification? Because recently I came across a situation where there was a man that was described as having history of cervical cancer. And cervix, as you all know, it's part of the uterus. And uterus, of course, a man wouldn't have uterus. A male wouldn't have uterus. It's a female organ, right? So how can a man have history of cervical cancer? And similarly, you may come across situations in medical charts where you're describing about a woman with prostate cancer. And how is it even possible? Because in women, you don't have prostate. But nowadays, things have changed because of this gender identification. These are all modern concepts, right? So what if a female had cervical cancer and she had the proper treatment for it, then 10 years later she just decided to change her identity, she is a transgender woman who became a man, then in her chart she would be referred as he, because that's how they want to be referred, right? So we got to respect that. So it would be he would be referred as a he with history of cervical cancer. So that might be very confusing. And similarly, if there's a transgender man who became a woman, but he has history of prostate cancer, or he still has prostate cancer, but then if he wants to be identified as a she, then that's the way it goes. So in charting, you may find, the reference as she, and that will be the pronoun, and then they'll be discussing about the prostate cancer and all that. So which wouldn't even make any sense, but it now makes perfect sense because gender is different than the biological sex. So I'm going to quickly read this. Okay, look at this. I'm also going to just put it in the video. Key concepts of gender. First, gender identity. A person's inner deep sense of being a man, a woman, both or neither. And then gender expression. How people show their gender to the world through clothing, speech, or behavior. And then social constructs. Rules and expectations made by society about how different genders should act. And then lastly, grammar. A class of words such as masculine, feminine nouns used in, some languages. Very interesting, isn't it? We all need to get up to speed to understand all these things. I hope you found this video interesting, and I hope this video was educational. I'll talk to you later in my next post. Goodbye.